All right, Milano, what got you into the music industry? Like, what made you want to pursue your passion?
To be honest, I always was into music growing up. Um, you know what I'm saying? Like I just always just admired the art of music. My mom, she used to do music back in the day too, just on a local level. And growing up just watching certain shit from, MTV Cribs and seeing certain shit, I was like, damn, the music industry seemed, interesting. So then as I started just digging deep and understanding artists and understanding producers and stuff like that, I just started finding a love in it. You know what I'm saying? And started appreciating the art of creating music. So, I was putting out my own stuff and I kind of got to that point where it was like, all right, what's next? You know what I'm saying? Like I've been trying to do it for myself. And then you know, the whole producer and songwriting thing just came into play because it was just more of like, how can I add value to the industry instead of being like a burden? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I do to help careers and shit like that? So, I just started taking it serious on that level and just studying the greats. You know what I'm saying? Like Missy Elliott, Timbaland, Pharrell, Rodney Jerkins, and what I'm saying, watching what they did and seeing how I could kind of follow their footsteps when it comes to creating and building up a catalog.
Mhm. Okay. Do you feel like did you come from a musical family? Like, were you in church a lot? Or did your parents or your mom sing in the choir? Like anything that?
Yeah, my mom did music, but I really was into the singing. Like that was really my thing. I was in choir growing up, so they had this thing called Allstate, and I was like the youngest in it. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to learn how to read music and all that stuff. And what the part that made it interesting for me was that it was all different types of music. Like it wasn't just gospel music; it was all types of music. So just understanding how far you could take music on a worldwide level just made it more interesting for me as a creative because I was like, okay, if we can do this at this age, what's it going to be like, now at the age where I'm at right now? So it's so many different lanes of music and so many different avenues that you can approach and take on that a lot of people kind of forget about.
No, for sure. How you doing, Milano? My name is Kyrie.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
Doing good. My question for you is, so you say you make music. You a producer as well as a writer, right?
Yeah, like an executive producer, kind of
Okay.
like a curator, what I would
Nice.
say.
So
Yeah.
in the room, so when you go into a studio, usually your job is, 'cause I do executive production too. So like your job is usually to like bring people together, make sure they're on task, make sure you're challenging people. Correct? Am I right on that?
Um, it's really just to curate the vibe, you know what I'm saying? Sit down with the artists, you know what I'm saying? Figure out what they're looking for, figure out what they might need help with. If it's production, if it might be like hook ideas, if it's arrangement, song structure, if it's pulling in other producers, if it's getting features and just doing shit, kind of like an A&R in a sense.
Mhm.
But it's like how A&Rs used to be.
Do you feel like so I see that you work a lot, but like, do you tend to lock in with certain artists for like a long time, or does it like is it spotty? Like sometimes they come for you, sometimes they don't.
Nah, 100%. Like usually when I work with an artist, I kind of be locked in with them for like a period of time.
Now y'all see you
We
all
build
over
a real
Facebook.
friendship.
I mean, Lede, what's her name? Kiana Lede?
You
Not
said
that right?
Kiana Lede. Yeah.
Yeah, Lede.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we locked in. I think we worked on that project for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Um, like we went to Malibu and worked on that whole album, that Kiki album together, which was a dope vibe, especially on the R&B level. It was right after Summer had put out her Over It project, and I felt like it was a whole nother side of music that wasn't being tapped in on, that wasn't so based on like targeting somebody. It was more, kind of speaking on like life and being honest and just
Yeah, the human
kind
experience.
of being carefree. You know what I'm saying? So everybody can have relate to it in a sense. You know what I'm saying?
What do you rather like? What is your preferred type of music to work on? Is it like the R&B side or is like the rap side? 'Cause I see you, and do you prefer to rap work with women, or is it easier? I found that in my history that it's easier to work with women because they're more coachable and it's less ego. But like, you know, I see you on some gossip. I see you on Kevin Gates. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I like working with both, bro. I don't really discriminate. I just like working with who wants to work with me.
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? Music is a collaborative effort. So, you know, anybody who's willing to share their talent with somebody else that's talented, I really respect. So I don't really,
No real
you know,
preference.
I'm not really, yeah.
I respect that.
Yo, I got one question.
What's up, bro?
What advice can you give for like an up and coming who's trying to get into your lane? Like how were you able to get your name out there to start working with some of these artists?
Really network, man. Your network really can build your net worth. Facts to tell you, I'm one of those people who kind of tries to connect with everybody who I meet. Either being from Instagram, from Twitter, from here to Clubhouse, to whatever the situation is. Like, I just like meeting people and kind of giving off a good, like building a strong relationship where people can kind of trust me and understand I'm a good person. You know, rock on my personality and see the type of person I am. And you know, kind of locking with producers too. Like that's really a cheat code that I tell a lot of up and coming artists, engineers, producers, songwriters, anything. Like producers and engineers, in my opinion, are really the goats behind the scenes when it comes down to getting into the industry, because they they have an ear that people trust, that people are locked in with. Like I have 3 engineers, you know what I'm saying? So if they come with me with something, if it's a producer or it's like a songwriter or it's an artist, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna listen to what they say because I already trust them with my sound. So they already know that they're bringing me certain things. And I try to tell people all the time to try to connect with the underdogs to really get your foot in the door to rock with the big dogs.
That's a fact. I got an engineer that's working in Quad right now, doing the same thing, you know, expanding your network, trying to get people in the right position.
Yeah, it's a hustle, man, because it's like at the end of the day, it's like think about how many people are trying to, you know what I'm saying, get in that position. You know what I'm saying? So what's going to separate you from everybody else? You know what I'm saying?
Now, how long have you been in the industry so far, would you say?
I say since like 2018 going into 2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like today, especially with like people getting their music leaked and stuff, how much of it is it important for you to stay behind the scenes to the public eye? You know what I'm saying? Or like, do you feel like it's important for the artist to be able to move around as if nobody wrote their music? Or do you think it's an important thing for artists to also shed light on the songwriters they work with?
I don't even think it's really shed light on songwriting. Like a lot of, I think the stereotype is that like when somebody's quote unquote songwriter, that they writing the whole songs and they doing stuff. But a lot of times songwriters is just people who are arranging records. Sometimes they might add ad-libs, they might add an idea here. The producer is considered a songwriter. So my whole thing is like, I really look at the artists who kind of champion their collaborative, like they're collaborators. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when we look back in history and we look at some of the greats, you know, the people who were a part of their journey. You're able to see it in their process. So I do wish more artists kind of shed light on that and understand and kind of broke down to the fans and the audience on why certain things are, you know, used and certain things happen. So fans aren't kind of like blindfolded and not knowing what's going on for real. You know what I'm saying?
Not for sure. What song, right? What's the first song that had people call it?
Hot Girl Summer.
Mm.
Yeah, Hot Girl Summer. That was the first song.
Speaking of that, can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, what's
Hey
up?
y'all, I'm Destiny. And so I'm looking at your credits right now, Derrick. And yeah, Hot Girl Summer is there. Also Yikes, with Nicki, Fractions, as well as Not Sorry with Rich the Kid. So I'm wondering, y'all know how Nicki is, you know, about her writing and, you know, wanting to know that she, you know, writes her stuff. So I'm wondering, like, what specifically do you help with when you are working with her or on those songs?
It could be different things. It could be flows, like laying down melodies, and then the artist going back listening to it. It could also be on the production, like restructuring the beats or saying, "Yo, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like this verse should go first, and maybe this verse should go second." Um, the thing that I respect about Nicki the most, and the reason why I enjoy working with her, is because she's one of those artists who can do everything. Like she engineers herself, even though she got juice, she can sit in the front of the computer and engineer herself, record herself. Um, but she also understands collaboratives. You know what I'm saying? Like before I even came in the picture, she was already working with greats like Esther Dean, Stara, and certain people who kind of just did similar things. Like they'll bring her certain artists that she might not, be familiar with, or certain producers who she might not be familiar with because she's working on something completely different. And when you come in from an underground perspective and you like, yo, this sound is hot right now, or this shit is hot right now, I feel like it would make sense if you jump in on it. She's one of those people who's gonna, sit down with it, think about it, make a decision. She's either gonna say yes or no, but I think that's what makes her a GOAT. And one thing that I always told her, working with her, is like, yo, you kind of have a Drake effect. Like you're one of those artists who, if you put your voice on anything, it could blow up anybody. If it's a producer, if it's an artist, like if it's a feature, whatever the situation is, you have that touch. And, that, like with me and her, that kind of helped because I was bringing her in a lot of, different producers like Pooh Beats and Jetson. Well, it was Pooh Beats, but him and Jetson worked together a lot on the Babies records and stuff like that. Did What's Poppin'. So when we did Yikes, I kind of pulled up on her and said, yo, these are the hottest producers right now. Like they just did this, that, and the third. I feel like this would be dope for your sound. I feel like it kind of gives your fans the old Nicki, but it still gives them the new Nicki. And, she sat down with it, listened to it a few times. We both laid down melodies. And then, shit, I came to the studio the next day and she had the song done. And I
That's
was like,
crazy.
damn, you fired. I'm like, how the hell did you, like, and she was like, nah, this is what I do. She's been doing it for years. And she, she's really a student of Wayne. So like when I watch Wayne work and seen how Wayne worked and seen how consistent he is, I see it in her a lot, which is amazing to see from, a female rapper at the level that she's at. I think that's the reason why a lot of artists kind of feel intimidated when it comes to her, because she can literally do everything. Like she could sing, she could do reggae, she could do Spanish music, she could rap, she could do boom bap, she can get on a song with Eminem, she can get on a song with the Baby, she can get on a song with Kodak, she can get on a song. It doesn't matter who it is, and she's always gonna shine. And I think that's what makes her a star. That's why I really enjoyed working with her, because it was literally like working with a superstar, like in real time. A lot of people can't do that. So
Facts. So I've heard you speak like several times, like on Clubhouse and stuff like that. So, and that's why I asked you that question, because I think specifically with Hot Girl Summer, like I feel like I've heard your story where you said that, you were working with Megan and you thought Nicki would be a great feature for it. And so you approached her about it. But when I see like the fans talking, like they just think it's this simple thing where Megan said, Nicki, get on live and, can you please jump on my song? And I think that there was a lot of other things that went on behind the scenes, but they don't understand that, because they don't have like access to these conversations and stuff like that. Is that still true? Is that how it happened?
yeah, that's exactly how it happened. I started working with Megan on Fever with Juicy J. And Juicy J is like, really, that's one of my mentors. He brought me in on Megan's project. He brought me in on Ty, and a lot of stuff like that, just off of that whole Taylor Gang relationship. So when we were working with Megan, we were just watching her career going up. And we was like, damn, yo, this shit is kind of happening fast. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like organic. It wasn't one of those things where people was like, oh, it's being forced. Like people were genuinely like in tune with everything Megan was posting. Her followers and everything was going up. Her numbers were going crazy. Her engagement was nuts. And when I did Hot Girl Summer, I had sent the hook to Ty. And I was like, yo, Ty, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like this would be a dope record. I said, I feel like it's gonna bring women together. I said, I think you should do the hook. I don't really know who else could do it. I said, Juicy, I think you should add, some drums to this because I didn't really like the original beat. So when he did it, Ty ended up sending it back. Juicy sent it to Megan. He hit me back and was like, yo, Meg put a verse on that Hot Girl Summer record. And I was like, damn, for real already? And he was like, yeah, she loves the record. 300 loves the record. They want to put it out. And I was like, well, I feel like it could be a little bit bigger, bro. I said, I feel like Nicki has that Drake effect. And I feel like it'd be dope to see Nicki kind of, come in and co-sign Megan. She's a new artist. It'd be big for the culture. It'd be big for women empowerment. And it's a song that's going to be like, people are going to get paid forever. Summer songs and like birthday songs and songs with signs and stuff like that, those records work forever. So I pulled up on Nick and I was like, yo, this is a record I feel like it's fire. Ty's on it already. Meg the Stallion's on it. And, she was like, well, let me live with it. Let me see. Let me think about it. I was like, all right, you the queen, so shit, whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it'd be a good idea. If you don't want to do it, it's nothing personal, but I just think it'd be a fire look. And then after I ended up leaving the house is when she ended up getting on live. And when she got on live, that's when Megan, basically asked her, and she called me right after and was like, yo, did you see that? And I was like, nah, this is fire. So she was like, yo, send me the song over again. So I sent her the song. She called me over the next day and she had her verse finished. And I was like, damn, like both of y'all knocked y'all verses out mad fast. And when she played it back for me, I was like, yo, this shit is going to be big. I said, this is going to be big for the culture. I said, I don't think you understand what we just put together.
Yeah, that was lit.
I'm sorry, Justin.
You're cool. You're good. I do have kind of like 3 more questions, but I can wait.
I just write them down. Write them down, Destiny.
Okay, we'll do.
Hey, Milano, I want to ask you a question.
What up, bro?
Did y'all already speak about speak about Pop Smoke?
Nah, not yet.
Nah, not yet.
So do you want to tell them like what was your process and what was it like working with Pop Smoke?
Man, Pop was, I ain't gonna lie, I think that was probably one of my like favorite times in my career. Just because 50 Cent's my favorite artist. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard Pop, it inspired me just off of that. And I was like, man, I really want to produce somebody like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever I could do to try to enhance this sound. I said it's so nostalgic, but it's today. I think it could make sense. So I ended up flying to New York. Stephen Victor had me out there, and me and Pop just spent like 2 or 3 days in the studio. And like we would be in there, he would come up with ideas. I'd be like, this is hard. I said, but maybe you should try this for a hook. And he'll be like, I kind of like it, but I would probably say something like this. And it just kind of gave me that, I don't know if you saw that Pharrell clip when he was in the studio with, I think it was Justin Timberlake, where the vibe is like, you damn near like Shaq and Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting at the booth.
Yeah, I think I seen it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm sitting at the board with Corey, his engineer, and Pop sitting on the island recording. And I'm like, nah, this line is fire. We need to keep this. We need to put this in a hook. Oh, nah, this is dope. And it was fire to create with him because he was so open to trying new stuff. He wasn't solely just focused on being a drill rapper. Like he really wanted to expand his sound.
That's why he the best out of them. Yeah.
Like it was fun working with him.
So question, right? With Pop, did you see like we're working with him? Did you see it? Like, did you see that how big he will be?
I saw it because of his charisma, bro. His personality, his aura. Like, I ain't gonna lie, that was the first time I ever seen like $1 million in cash. Like Stephen Victor had him moving around like it was crazy. The way that he was moving around New York was just like, yo, he's about to be the biggest nigga here. And you know what I'm saying? Just watching New York culture and understanding how when you watch the Dipsets and when you watch Hov and you just see that when niggas come in the room, it's just like, yo, they demand the respect. Pop had that. it was the confidence. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of artists nowadays don't really give off that confidence that they that one. And working with Pop, PT was that one. You know what I'm saying? Like off jump.
Nah, for sure. All right, I want to talk about your project that you just dropped. Could we talk about that real quick? All right, you
Yeah,
got a
what's up?
song. You got a song on it. What is it called? Is it called Goats? GHOA. I'm dyslexic. Is
How
it
you
called
Yeah,
spell
Goats?
goats.
ghost, man?
Yeah, goats.
All right, listen. I'm dyslexic. I see shit so different. It's like, you know what I'm saying, the S is in front of the O. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's neither here or there. Could you tell me what's up with that song? Because I feel like you got mad hidden messages in that shit, bro.
Can we play it in the chat real quick?
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
could play it.
Yeah,
That'll
for
be
sure.
cool.
Let's put it in the chat real quick.
Kyrie,
Yeah, Fly, you got it? Send the link to Fly. Fly, I'll get it going.
hidden shit.
Hold on. Everybody unmute the bot real quick.
Yeah. All this ghost talk, man, this shit crazy.
All right. So Milano, you said a lot in that record, bro.
Yeah, that had a different tone than the question I asked earlier. You was talking that shit.
In that
Hell
record
yeah.
alone, but even so, the whole project, like you was really dropping a lot of gems like that. So I want to know what was your mindset and your mind state in this record right here specifically. I want to know everything. Break this whole shit down, brother.
I mean, it's basically like this, bro. Like as creatives, it don't matter if you an engineer, it don't matter if you a producer, a songwriter, shit, an artist that signs to another artist. Um, you just get to that point where you just feel like, yo, I done help mad people. You know what I'm saying? It's just like people don't want to give you your credit. They don't really want to give you your just due. Um, and it's not even like saying, oh, this person did this or this person did that. It's really just being like a friend. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the artists that I work with, I try to build friendships with. So, you know, when you get to a point when you're, you know, trying your own thing and doing your own thing, because facts, you know, I signed the deal with Epic. You know, I was like, okay, let's see how this shit go. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people who I've worked with, helped with. Let's see if the support's gonna be there. And when it was time, niggas just disappeared.
Right.
And I didn't really understand the reason why, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it's like, you know, we supposed to be friends first. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about me is I always try to uplift my peoples. So, you know, it just be like the little small shit where that could change your whole trajectory as an artist or anything. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you do so much and you don't ask for anything. You know, it's kind of looking at people's character a little different. Like, is we really friends or is this just a business?
So
You know what
you
I'm saying?
feel is that one of the reasons why you left? Wait, did you leave Epic?
Yeah, I left.
Oh my God.
Okay. So that's what I want to get to. Why did you leave? I know why you left. It's you say it in the project why you left. But is that one of the reasons to why you left as well? Like do you feel like doing it independent would be easier for you or more beneficial? Or you would have more control? Like exactly why did you leave and how you feel being independent?
To be honest, I like the control. Like I like to have control of what I'm doing. I feel like being with a label, everything is kind of based off of numbers. Um, and the thing with me is like, man, I really want to build a core. Like I really want a fan base of people who know the story. I don't want to just come out with these huge records and these big records, and then you know you kind of getting looked at kind of like an industry plant. So when I had put out that Die For It record, it was moving organically, and the label was kind of like, oh, we see what we did. It's a promo single. Now we're gonna put out the big single, and I'm just like, hold on, bro. Like, let me. I just put money up for this joint. Like me and my man just went crazy for promotion for this joint. Like, you know what I'm saying? I kind of want to focus on this record. We didn't shoot the video yet. And I got Ruby Rose on the remix to kind of just, you know, bring it to life a little bit later. I was gonna get the Claremont twins in the video. I'm like, yo, let me do my thing. And it was kind of like we see the vision, but we're ready to press the button. And I feel like when they pressed the button for the next single that came out, it was just like kind of like expected. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, okay, he got a song with Ty Dolla $ign, and people weren't as excited as they were when I dropped the song by myself. And I just felt like it took away from my artistry because I didn't really feel like that song made sense after dropping Die For It. Like, it was a whole storyline that I was planning on doing for my drops. And that song kind of threw off the algorithm. So I stopped promoting it until I got out of that situation.
The legs out the promotion of the project.
You said what happened, bro?
They basically, what you're saying is like they kind of cut the legs short on that one song by moving too early.
Yes. And, you know, as a creative, you know what I'm saying? Like, something that I worked for my whole life, you know, to say I'm a signed artist, it was just kind of like, damn, like, you know, I kind of want to trust my own process. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really aiming to drop a song and it's going to get 1 million plays in a day. Like, I really want people to know the message behind the record and understand why I made it. You know what I'm saying? And then the label was just kind of like, oh, we want to put this song out. You know, I didn't argue with it. I asked my team if it made sense. They agreed that it made sense. So I was like, all right, well, if y'all trust it, I trust y'all. You know, fuck it. Let's put it out. Hopefully it just helps with everything else. And it just kind of came out and it was just a cool song. And people who really fuck with my music was hitting me like, damn, bro, why ain't you promoting the Die For It one? Like, I fuck with the Control record, but it don't hit the same. And as a writer and as a consumer and as a fan, I could see what they was talking about. And it kind of threw me off mentally.
Mm.
You know,
I got one question.
What's good?
So as a producer, right? What lane are you trying to fit in as an artist? Like, are you still trying to chase a sound, or do you feel like you developed the sound yet, or you feel like you don't have it quite as where you want it right now?
Nah, I definitely got a sound. At first, I didn't really like my voice. I was trying to figure that part out, but I figured it out.
I never could. Long as I'm good in the hood, and I'm good in my hood. You know how we rollin'. If it's
Yo, Milano, my next question is fucking, where you at right now? Are you in a space, like, where you at right now specifically? Like, are you in a crib?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm chilling. I just had my birthday.
Oh, word.
Happy belated.
Yeah,
Happy
appreciate
related.
that.
So,
oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead, because I want to ask you something.
Yeah, I'm actually in a great space. Like, the artists that I'm working with, it's like a lot of new artists that I'm excited about. From Lay Banks.
Which one? Lay Banks.
Lay
Maya
Banks,
the
Lola
Dawn.
Brooke,
Yeah.
Maya the Don, Rick and the Menace,
Mhm.
Too Rare,
Mhm.
Ice Spice,
Mhm.
fucking Tia Corinne,
Mhm.
Tafia. You know, just like kind of like,
Taki is hard. That nigga is hard.
yeah.
One question.
Do you? I want 1 second real quick. I'm sorry. How many Grammys you got, Milano? Because you just won another one, right?
Well, no, I got 3, and we have I got nominated for 3 more.
You got your
Thank you.
Grammys right now.
Yeah, I got one of them.
Could you cam up real quick and show us a Grammy, please?
For sure.
That shit's just like motivation.
No, yeah,
That's your motivation, right?
No, it's a motherfucking fact.
Yeah, hold on. Give me 2 seconds.
No cap.
You see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
You gotta flip the camera around, bro. Holy.
Oh, yeah.
That's lit.
Holy.
W's in the
Dang,
chat for
fire.
this, man.
Wait.
Yeah, we got a Grammy nominated motherfucker.
Which one is
Yeah,
that
right.
for? What's that one for?
This one's for the Savage remix.
Oh, lit.
Yup.
That's love, my boy. I'm gonna mute up and let them finish talking to you now.
Oh, okay. So on that note of you, like, of people not coming through for you, for your projects, like, how do you? Because I was gonna ask can somebody mute real quick? So I was gonna ask, like, how has the industry, been receptive to your music, and, like, before learning about this situation with Epic, how is this gonna impact how you move forward with your solo endeavors?
You can hear me, right?
Yeah.
The industry fucks with it. I think it's like the right people. Like, at this point, I'm in conversations with the chairmen, you know what I'm saying? And like CEOs and executives. I'm not really concerned about other artists. they're always going to be there for support or whatever it is. But at the end of the day, like I said, when I understood that this was a business, I had to really start kind of thinking of myself first and stop thinking of everybody else. Even though I still do think of everybody else, I kind of just look at my legacy and look at it like, what could I do? So really, with this particular project, it was to tell a story, but it was also to show some of my peers that, have been thinking about investing and kind of looking at it like, yo, I really can put stuff together. I could put songs together. I could put records together. I know how to balance both of them. I know how to work with artists and give them their own hits and then still work on my own stuff where it's not interfering with what they're doing. And I think that that's a huge problem with the whole producer songwriter thing, trying to turn artists, because a lot of the times the songwriter or the producer ends up sounding or putting out records that sound like the artist that they were working with, so that when the music comes out, it kind of looks at the artist like, yo, you kind of like jacking my sound and you saving the good stuff for yourself. I kind of aim to really just do my own stuff and not really focus on big records, but really focus on records that I feel like have meaning to it.
No, that's dope.
I got one question, gang.
Okay, my bad. Go
I
ahead.
got a question. As a since you're in there seems to be a controversial topic right now when it comes to female versus male. Do you feel like right now the female artists are like winning right now over the male artists, or do you feel like the males right now still got it?
Where he at?
Yo, my bad. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, do you hear that question I just asked?
Nah, can you ask it again? My bad.
Oh, okay. There seems to be a controversial topic right now when it comes to females versus male right now. Do you feel like the females right now are overshadowing the males, or do you feel like the males still have it?
I think it's even. To be honest, I think everybody's doing their thing. I think everybody has their own lane and everybody has their own fan bases. So, at the end of the day, certain artists are going to listen to, or not artists, but certain fans are going to listen to what they like, and certain artists are going to cater more to that crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, we know Glorilla is super duper hot, but then we also see that in the same breath, Boston Richie is super duper hot as well. And, that kind of, I wouldn't say it's in that same realm that they can have the same fan base, but it's more of like they understand their audience and their target audience, and that's what they're focusing on. Even to pay attention to what's going on in New York, especially when it comes down to the female rappers. Maya the Don, in my opinion, has her own fan base. Billy B has her own fan base. Lola Brooke has her own fan base. Ice Spice has her own fan base.
Shit, Milano.
You know what I'm saying? Kenzo B has her own fan base. Young Devin has her own fan base. And I feel like it really helps that artists are really focusing on their cores rather than trying to dab into somebody else's audience. I think that the organic growth of a fan base plays a huge role when it comes to artists and their sound, because it just opens up the ears for everybody when artists decide to collaborate, when it gets on a bigger level. Like the discovery of an artist, I think, and you guys are consumers, so you can tell me better than I can, but I feel like the discovery of an artist early means the most, when it comes to finding new artists and kind of being one of those first people to be in touch with it. So when people jump on the bandwagon, it's kind of like, yo, you late to the party. Like, we've been listening to this shit for a year, 2 years, and you just now listening to this shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
And yo, let me ask a question real quick. Just wondering, like, so it's like it's early. All right, so right now, so say it's like it's early in your career. When the first person, like the first big name, recognized your talent and saw like how you was coming, how did that make you feel? Like somebody just giving acknowledgement to the talent that you got?
My bad. One more time. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, no bad. My bad. I was asking, so like, like earlier in your career, like before you wrote for anybody like huge, like how did it feel when that first big person kind of came through and just recognized your talent and saw what you was doing? Like, how did that feel just getting that acknowledgement?
It felt good. Like, but like I said, I've been doing music since I was like 13, 14, and I had to really trust the process. So for me, it was more of like, excitement within myself just to know that I'm in the conversation now, and I'll be able to, you know, really go in and kick in the door and really like do what I plan on doing. Um, but the feeling was, it was just kind of like, yo, this is it. Like now that I got the ball, I got to be on go. Like I can't drop it. Like I gotta really stay focused and really approach this shit like I really want it. Like I can't get too comfortable. I can't get too excited. No matter what artist I'm working with, I gotta understand that, you know, you only as big as your next hit. And that was really my mindset. You know, I think my most exciting moments were working with like the legendary artists that I like my mom, you know what I'm saying, like looked up to, like Babyface. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that to me, and being able to write a song with Babyface on Babyface album, like that to me is like a, yo, this shit is real. You know what I'm saying? Just knowing everything he's done and knowing how respected that he is as a creator, as an artist, as a songwriter, and for him to trust me, um, you know, that meant a little bit more to me than anything. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the legend of who it is.
I got you. It gave you kind of like that. It just kind of gave you that like that boost. Like you're looking at yourself a little bit different now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, yo, this is Babyface. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know, I was able to like he's one of my mentors as well. But for Mother's Day last year, I was able to introduce my mom to him. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom looked up to him and was listening to his songs growing up. And, you know, I never really told her. I told her about Babyface when I started working, but when she came to LA, I surprised her with it. And she didn't expect that her son at 27 was going to introduce, at that time, was going to introduce her to one of the artists that she looked up to and she fanned out about when she was in her younger years. So, you know, that moment was something crazy um to me, because it was just like, damn, like my mom really, you know what I'm saying, is able to see this happen in real time.
That's a W, man. It's a W feeling to get.
Yeah.
Yo, Milano, I want to ask a question. I want you to be honest, bro. I really want you to be honest. Like, fuck, just be honest. We know how the industry feel about academics. We want like, how do you feel personally about academics? Be completely honest, bro.
I like academics, and you know why I like academics? Because I like Wayno. Like Wayno, in fact, you know this. Wayno is like one of my industry brothers. Like outside of the music, I talk to Wayno every day. And I remember when I had a conversation with him, I said, yo, you know why I fuck with Everyday Struggle? And he was like, why? I said, because I feel like you and Act be speaking on shit that niggas don't want to speak on. And you guys bring out shit that niggas don't really want to speak on. And it gets niggas uncomfortable because y'all niggas tell the truth. And I feel like in the industry now, everybody's so sensitive to the truth that it's hard to get people to just be blunt and be honest. So, you know, when I see academics doing his thing, I just look at it like, yo, you kind of gotta let the man do his thing, and you gotta let him hustle. At the end of the day, he's not affected. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows what he's doing. He understands what he's doing. He be outside. When I had went to a Tory show in New York, I think it was a year and a half ago or something like that, maybe 2 years ago, when he bought I think he bought Casanova out. Academics was right there. You know what I'm saying? At the show. You know what I mean? So I had a different respect level just seeing the fact that somebody who says that they in the culture is actually involved with the culture. Not only that, but I've seen him break multiple artists. And one thing about this whole industry, breaking artists is something hard to do. So for somebody to be able to break an artist off of their influence and get people to say, you know what, I fuck with this nigga because this person fucks with this nigga, so I know that if he's co-signing it, it's hot. I respect that. Because a lot of people don't take risk, and that's what we're missing in music now.
Nah, that's a W, my boy. I just
I got one question.
Go ahead, gang.
So who hasn't you collab with that you want to collab with? Like you say you collab with Megan, Nicki, and all the other greats. Like who right now on your list that you want to collab with right now that you haven't got a chance yet?
Really want to work with Rihanna. I really want to work with Summer Walker again. I feel like the first time we worked, it was still new. um, Sierra, shoot,
Sierra Wax.
no, Sierra,
Oh,
the,
Sierra.
the
Okay,
singer,
got it.
yeah.
Got
Um, Janet Jackson. Um, who else? You know, Free Thug, but Thug, like that's somebody who I really wanted to work with, and hopefully, you know, the situation goes in his favor. But that's somebody I definitely want to work with, just be around and just learn from, because I feel like he's an alien, like he's a curator too. Like I feel like a lot of projects don't get put out if Thug don't put his ear on it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my personal opinion. Hearing his music, yo.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can finish. I'm sorry. My fault. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And Future, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to get in with Future and work on that Hendrix too. You know what I'm saying? Like, whenever he chooses to work on that, I want to be a part of that because I like when he gets in that vulnerable state of his music.
You feel like you can get in that toxic bag with Future?
100%. 100%.
So Milano, I want to ask you a question, right? You don't gotta answer, bro. Just tell me to shut the fuck up. Only because we brought up Thug. You know, Milano, I love you. You my brother. You know how toxic I am too. Did Gunna snitch? Yes or no? If you don't want to answer it, don't answer it. Tell me to shut up, bro.
This thing.
I'm listening.
Did Gunna snitch? Yes or no?
We getting to the nitty gritty or something.
Milano, you don't gotta answer. You heard? All right, skip that. Just skip
He
it.
pled the fifth. I'm crying.
That's my dog. All right, y'all can go ahead and finish. Y'all can go ahead and finish.
Yo, so Milano, how you feel about the Grammys finally creating a category just for songwriters? Like, and plus, like, you know, with you know, people hate the Grammys every year when the nominations come out and whatever, but it's like, you know, we literally have the same conversation every year, but I feel like the Grammys will always have their power because newer people always gonna want to win one, you know. So what do you think about that in the new songwriters category?
I respect. Yeah, I respect it. I think it's dope that they have it. I didn't submit myself this year because I didn't feel like I had a big enough song.
Child, please.
I'm that competitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have a number one this year.
Come
So
on.
I look at, you know, I mean, that's, you know, like I said, I look at this shit like a sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, as much as I would love to say nominated, like, I'm in my eyes, you know what I'm saying? I want to be a winner. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially the fact that out of a lot of my peers that's songwriting right now, I'm like one of the only ones with a Grammy statue. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the one walking around showing that shit off, putting my jewelry around it, getting legends to hold it and doing all types of stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's my witness.
Nah, that's a fact, nigga. That shit
Niggas
was
wasn't doing that. Niggas
shit
wasn't
was
on that.
everywhere.
Now speaking of your peers, who are your peers that you recognize are like the ones that you gotta be like, oh yeah, like they fire? Because you mentioned Star. I know about Star. Star's crazy. She's super fire. Who else?
Niger,
Nigel,
Yeah.
super fire.
Money.
Yeah, Stara, Nisha,
Mhm.
Jazzy, London J, Landstrip Chip is super dope. Beam, he's fire. Party Next Door.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, one of my favorite writers and creatives. Like, he's different. Amani, Ariel, she's new. Ivory Scott. And who else? Oh, and my brother Dazzy Coolin. Like, he's fire. So, you know,
Oh, that's great.
that's, yeah.
What is, as a songwriter? What is early on? What's a resource that helped you the most?
Communication skills, to be honest, understanding people and understanding conversations and kind of just sitting back and listening and taking my time with certain things and just understanding the human mind. and what people want to hear, that played a huge role, because I can have a conversation with you guys and remember a question that somebody said and just be like, you know what, this could work with this person. You know what I'm saying? Without having to think too hard and without overthinking. Like, I try my hardest not to overthink when it comes down to creating.
I have a question. Since you're a songwriter, do you find it hard making your own music so it doesn't sound like the people you write for? So for an example, since you work for Nicki Minaj and Megan, and when you write your own music, do you try to figure out ways to not sound like them since you work with them?
Yeah, of course. I do my own thing, bro. Like I said, a lot of the times working with them is more of like the production style. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a solidified sound already. Like, I ain't really trying to change nobody's sound, except for when it comes down to like the production, or when it comes down to flows and stuff like that, or maybe like ad-lib placements. Like with Nicki, a lot of records that we worked on together, she likes my ad-libs sonically. So I'm in the ad-libs on Yikes. I'm in the ad-libs on Slide Around. I'm on the ad-libs on Extravagant.
What?
I'm at the end of Hot Girl Summer. I'm on the ad-libs on Whole Lot of Choppers. You know what I'm saying? But that's my sound. You know what I'm saying? That she appreciated and was like, yo, I like how you do your ad-libs. You know what I'm
Can you
saying?
give an example of one of them so I could go back and listen?
Just like shit like that, little shit. And then I be throwing like certain reverbs on my vocals, and just try to like I be trying to turn my voice to an instrument. So like, even when I sit down, either I'm engineering myself or I have an engineer doing it for me. I'd be like, yo, let's try to make this sound like a guitar. And let's try to make this shit sound like an instrument so it don't sound like words. So
Let me ask you. No, my
sorry.
bad.
No, go ahead, Reaper.
I appreciate you, facts. Y'all asking them, man, like, is there like a project you feel like, yo, like that's just your number one, like that joint right there is just your most specialist piece? Like, what's your favorite to you? You know what I'm saying? I feel like everybody's got a favorite.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. That Kiana Lede album, I feel like hold on one second.
No, it's no problem.
Hold on. Okay. But yeah, I feel like that album meant a lot to me, just because I feel like the whole story was cohesive from top to bottom, and I feel like the music aged really well. I mean, that's my personal opinion. I'm always up to constructive criticism, but from top to bottom, I just feel like that album set Kiana aside, and put her in the conversation a little bit more.
How was it working with her, like, as like on a personal level?
It was fire. I rock with Kiana. She's super creative. She's a great collaborator. Like, I can say that much.
Nice.
She's definitely open to stuff, but she's talented, and that kind of goes a long way. So even like me demoing something, her bringing it to life takes it from 0 to 100. So
I got a
working with
question.
her,
Yeah, go ahead, ZB.
yeah, good.
What advice would you give to a young songwriter, you know what I'm saying, trying to get into the industry as a songwriter? Like, where do you even go to do that?
To be honest, and this could be a cheat code, I would, like, depending on where you're from, I would find an artist where I'm at. Either an artist or somebody who you believe in that's not really into doing music, but might have the image or might have a distinct voice, or might just be popular and just being like, yo, I see a vision for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly feel like if we sit down and do this together, something could come about, and taking a chance on other people instead of working, like I said, trying to aim for like the big artists. There's so many people that try to do music. The best thing I've watched is the development from coming in the industry together. So like watching like a Riot and Ice Spice, People don't understand that they've been friends for like I think 4 years. They went to college together, or high school, and then college together. So he's been producing her this whole time. So when they came in, it was like Ice Spice Riot, Ice Spice Riot, and I feel like that's the way to come in with your own people. So when it finally breaks, or when you get your opportunity, you're attached to that artist. That's what I would say. I would say find somebody new.
Go ahead, Frank.
Milano, I got a question. My fault. I hear you, right? And in the back of my head, I'm like, nah, that's not Milano. But in my mental, I'm like, I know that's Milano. So what producers tags are you on?
It's a producer named Pliz. Damn, let me think.
What about the guy that Vori producer?
Who?
I forgot the nigga name, bro. Hold on, I'm gonna find out his name. Cause I definitely hear you on one of Vori producers' shits, bro. I'm gonna find it while y'all talking, and I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, no, I ain't really do too many beat tags. Yeah, I ain't really do too many beat tags.
Can I ask a quick question that I feel like nobody talks about? Can we talk about vocal production real quick and how that's a skill in its own? And like I feel like, you know, listening to Nicki stuff, even her old stuff, current stuff, like would you agree that like especially on her Roman shit that she vocal produces herself?
100%. You can't teach that. Like Kendrick Lamar is the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like Young Thug is the same way. Like once you figure out your niche and figure out how to play with your voice, you become a whole different beast. But vocal coaching is a huge part in music that a lot of people kind of forget about. I feel like there's a lot of artists that we look at right now that I feel like with the right vocal production could take their career to another level when they feel like the time is right. I watched Cucarell, who does all Rihanna stuff, who did all Madonna stuff, Celine Dion. I watched him vocal coach Monster X when we did a K-pop record. And I was just like, yo, this dude is like, he's a beast. Like he got these dudes singing like damn near Justin Bieber, Chris Brown, in a sense, and like really sitting down there doing it. So that's really what I be trying to do too. Like that's why I say like an experience in the studio with me is a little bit more than what people think. Like I don't really go into the studio and just try to aim to do a song with that artist. Like I really go in there and try to make sure that the artist feels comfortable so that whatever we create, everybody feels like they're a part of the record.
Thank you so much.
I got one question. So I said like 10 years from now, do you see yourself still doing this songwriter, or do you want to make a lane for yourself, or you want to be like a main artist?
Yeah, I'm still gonna do my thing. I'm approaching it now like Hove. I'm gonna get my own bag, start my own label, work with the artists that I already work with, and just keep building and put out music. If it moves, it moves. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna be stressed out about it because I know that I'm already gonna be working on other stuff. I'm about to lock in with Rodney Jerkins for about a year. So we about to just work on a lot of stuff. If y'all not familiar with Rodney Jerkins,
That is amazing. Oh my God, congrats.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So that's really like, in fact, when you ask like where my mindset is, like, bro, that's all I'm thinking right now because I haven't really had, like outside of my mentors, I haven't really locked in. Like this lock in is about to be like, this is about to be like boot camp. Like I don't care if he says, yo, I need coffee, this, that, and the third, like I'm gonna do it. Because I already know who Rodney Jerkins is and I already know what he is to the culture of music. And I feel like that's what I'm missing to make me like a legendary producer, executive producer.
Nah, copy. I want to watch me call before before I let you go. I know you got shit to do. I wanna ask you about the New York scene, right? How you feel? Because you did mention a lot of the girls, which I love, like Billy B, Lola Brooke, uh, Connie, Maya the Dawn, Ice Spice. All of them is hard as fuck. So my question to you is this, right? Um, do you feel like you could make a Hit Kid, like you see what Hit Kid did with the Shabuya, whatever the case may be? Do you feel like you could make some NY shit with all of the girls? Like you think that you could be responsible for that?
I mean, of course. I mean, I've been doing that though. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like that's not, you know what I mean? Like I fuck with Hit Kid, but
Hmm.
like, I if we being honest, shit, I put together one of the biggest songs for female rap to kick it off with Hot Girl Summer. You know what I'm saying? We've
That's a
been,
fact.
you know what I'm saying? We've been on
So
that.
so that's what I want. I want that, Milano. I want you to make NY, like a banger from with the girls that's in the city, like Connie Diamond, Billy B, Lola, Maya. It don't gotta be all of them. But you know what I'm saying? Like I want you to make that shit. I want you to be, you know what I'm saying? And I'll help you make that shit happen as well. You feel me? Like
Nah, for
whatever.
sure.
Yeah, get that shit. All
For
right.
sure. Hell
So
yeah.
what one more. Fucking
Yo, let me ask one. Bro, I was hearing about your mindset shit and what you were talking about. Like in
this
terms of success, I just wanted to know, when do you feel like you finally made it? And then your mindset, like I can tell why you're successful, but it's just like for other people coming up, like me, I'm in a totally different field, but like the mindset is the same. So like when did you finally feel like you made it, and has your mindset always been like this?
Yeah, to be honest, and I don't want to like make people get discouraged or feel a certain way, but I feel like I don't feel like I've made it until I'm gone.
when you say going, you mean like going?
Like gone. That's when
All
people
right,
respect your legacy.
all right, I got you. Well, we're gonna hope that
You
we're gonna
mean gone as in dead, as in gone, or as in quiet out of the industry?
Either or.
You got me worried. Okay, all right.
Either or.
we're going.
You know what I'm
All right,
saying? You can it could be anything, you know what I'm saying? But it's when you go on that hiatus and when you disappear and people just kind of, whatever you did, your legacy is left behind. That's when I'm gonna feel like I made it. But right now I'm still working and I'm trying to, be better than I was yesterday and elevate every day. So, what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for giving me the space to speak because I don't do
yeah.
interviews.
Nah, you don't, bro. You don't, bro. That sound like, yeah, nigga, I had to do this shit. That sound like, yo, I know it's that time. Let me get my boy up out of here. But hey, Milano, I want to say, I appreciate you, my boy. Real talk, like even for coming and vibing with the chat, bro. Like I know they appreciate this shit, and I know I appreciate this shit. I know academics is fucking listening right now on his burner, and I know he appreciate this shit. So it's definitely love, bro. Real talk. Like I definitely appreciate it. We wrapping it up now. Milano, the chat is saying thank you right now. I don't know if you see it, but Milano, you definitely appreciated my boy that ass. Like you really is appreciated. And I'm gonna drop the project in the chat again. I want y'all to listen to that shit. Even that record that I sent, that I said goats, it was gems in that shit. The whole project is like that. The whole project is definitely industry gems and all that. So y'all definitely tap into that project and just, I'm saying. So Milano, I appreciate you for popping in, bro. Real talk, buddy.
Nah, I really appreciate you, bro, for even reaching out and giving me the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's love, and I like what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep this shit up too. Like this underground shit, and y'all might think it's bigger than underground, but y'all have a power that the industry really can't put a hand on. You know what I'm saying? So y'all continue to keep building y'all shit and keep developing and being great at what y'all do. You know what I'm saying?
I
That's a
appreciate that.
appreciate your time.
Word. It's
Yeah,
love,
Yeah,
for
man.
sure.
Milano.
We appreciate your time, bro.